So welcome to this discussion with Digoshen, Helen Pitcher. You and I met as part of working on a board for a network at INSEAD.
That's right.
And it's absolutely fantastic to have a chance to interview you. And if you could start with just telling us what accomplishments have taken you to where you are today?
Okay, well I started my career, I originally trained as a lawyer. And then I moved into commerce and became a commercial apprentice with Weetabix. So worked around every department, including health and safety. And really always had a vision that I wanted to run a business at some stage. But before moving into running a business, I moved from Weetabix to Oxford University Press, where that organisation is both a commercial entity but also is a charitable trust, as it's all its funding came from the Oxford University Chest, so it was run by the Dons, and did a huge transformational change project for them to help reduce costs. I moved from there to Northern Foods, where I was promoted very, very rapidly through the ranks and ended up heading up a division of Dale Farm Foods. And whilst I was doing that, we were doing a deal with Grand Metropolitan, with the dairies, Express Dairies, and I was working on the M&A team with a gentleman who worked for Grand Met, and he wanted to move north, and for domestic reasons I wanted to move south. So he went and joined Northern Foods, and I joined Grand Metropolitan, and became their youngest ever divisional director. Had a super time there, but couldn't transfer to the States for work for domestic reasons. And therefore, as it was in those days, this is quite a while ago, made plain if you didn't move, then you weren't likely to get the top job, which I was on the succession plan for. I decided to come out into consultancy, initially for 3 years, and then to go back to what I would consider to be a proper job, working in a big organisation. And so I came into consultancy. I was working at a strategic level in major boardrooms. Our client base was 67 of the FTSE Top 100, a whole host of private equity clients, big family firms, etc. And found that the breadth of influence I could have working in consultancy was far greater than just working in one company. So that really was how I ended up in consultancy, and I've been in consultancy for 25 plus years. So that was part of it. The other part of my career progression has been I have always done a major piece of academic study, at least once a decade, sometimes frequently more. And INSEAD became my school of choice. And so I undertook a variety of programmes, from the Challenge of Leadership through to IDP, leading from the chair, Strategy in the Age of Digital Disruption. I've just done one module of the Advanced Strategy programme, so I'm working towards hopefully getting an advanced certificate there. So, and it was through INSEAD that one of the boards that I now chair, which is Pladis Global, came to me as an opportunity to join their board, and they have gone on record and said they wish to IPO at some stage, and my governance background really helps with that. So I sit on now a number of boards that I chair: a national children's charity, Pladis Global, which is confectionery and chocolate, which most people like. I'm also obviously president of INSEAD Directors Network, which I love. And then I chair Advanced Boardroom Excellence, which works in board effectiveness reviews and coaching at a senior level and preparing people for NED roles.
Very good, very exciting. So is there, in your route to where you are, is there another leader that has impacted you, that has made a major difference? And if so, can you mention the person? And can you mention what it made to you?
The leader who influenced me the most was, and still is, because I'm still friendly with him even though he's in his 80s, a gentleman by the name of Terry Briggs. He was manufacturing director at Weetabix when I was on their commercial scheme. And he was the one who pushed me to leave. Not because I was doing anything wrong, but because he pointed out, if you look at the people who are here, they join and they stay for the rest of their working career. And you really should be on a major board in the next 10 to 15 years. So he pushed me out of my comfort zone and even brought the role at Oxford University Press to my attention.
Oh.
At a fairly key time in my life, because I was actually in hospital having my appendix out, and he came to visit me with the advert and said, I think you should apply.
Right.
So Terry was great. It was tough love, because moving out of the legal profession into commerce is a big leap, because you're trained basically to argue from both perspectives.
Yeah.
When you're working in a heavily industrial relations environment, you can't do that. You have to learn the skills of influence and collaboration, or you will just not succeed. So Terry was very tough on me, but very good.
Very good.